And sit tall in a cross-legged seat. Please close your eyes. Body stable and at ease. I'd ask you to reflect back on this deepening connection you have to your source. Reestablish your connection to it, your awareness of it. Right. And let's begin with Kapalabhati again. It's up to you if you want to add this extra component. Ashwini Mudra with each exhalation. Now, see the space inside and outside of you being cleansed. Just about 10 more seconds, please. Exhale all the air. Now, Surya Bedna. Breathe in through the right nostril only. And out through the left. Twelve times. In through the right. Out through the left. You can apply the Pranashuddhi stage 2, which is as you breathe in through the right, see Prana Shakti fill the right brain and descend down the right side of the spine to the base. And as you exhale, see it come up through the left side. So we know the Surya, or the solar aspect, is that which connects us to prana. The lunar quality connects us to the mind. For this practice, we want to become increasingly alert, sensitive to prana shakti. Good. 3 more breaths, please. And then when you finish, go ahead and lower the hand down to the knee. Just pause for a moment. With the intention to feel a deepening in your sensitivity to prana, presence, life force. Okay, lower your chin. And then gradually come up to fours, Chakravakasana. Okay, so knees hip distance apart, hands shoulder width apart. Let's start to move there. Inhale, lift the chin. Exhale, softly go back, navel moving to the back body. 5 times. And as you're moving back on exhalation, you can engage the root block once again, combining that, integrating that with the navel contracting. Let's do 2 more. Soften the neck. Slight bend in the elbows on the way back. Last one. Good. Pause there. Rest upper body on your thighs. Good. And then let's slowly sit up and take your time to come up to standing. Okay. So feet more or less hip distance apart. Carrie, it might be more helpful if you'll stay to profile. And we'll do this dynamic Uttanasana. For first, let's just stand tall. Again, recognize the body as a vessel of prana shakti, both inside it, just outside of it as well. Softly lift the lower belly, lift the collarbones. Okay, so slight flex of the knees. We'll start with these gentle forward folds. Inhale, lift the heart. And this time, stay in the forward bend for a full breath. Emphasize the abdominal wall contracting. Again, inhale draws you back up. And you'll repeat that. Forward fold. This time, stay in the forward bend 2 breaths. Slight bend the knees is fine. If you want, you can still hold your ankles, lower parts of the calves. Collarbones moving toward the shins. And then slowly inhale, lead with the heart to come back up. We'll go forward this time. Stay 4 breaths. Stay, breathe. Now, even though I know the body hasn't really warmed up yet, the idea here is that as you exhale, your navel moves toward your spine and your spine sinks deeper into the torso. Again, if you prefer holding the ankles or legs, you can. And then after 4 breaths, take your time and slowly come back up tall. Okay, good. Please step the left foot back. We'll keep the right foot at the front of the mat. Okay. So, Carrie G, we're going to bring the arms out in front, parallel to the floor, palms together. Exactly. Elbow straight, though. That's it. And maybe the feet a little wider apart if you can, because we're going into warrior 1. So you'll inhale and you'll bend the knees, bend the front knee, excuse me, and extend the arms wide like that. There you go. Exactly. And exhale out of the pose. And breathe in again. Move into the posture. Stay a full breath. Shoulder blades into the heart. Exhale, abdomen contracts. Once again, cueing the pelvic floor as you're breathing out. And then inhaling, coming out of the pose. Do I have that right? No, that was an exhale to come out. Okay, so again, inhale back into the pose. This time stay 2 breaths. See the breath filling downward to the sides as well as up to the collarbones, but careful not to overarch the lower back. So, Carrie, if you lean, tilt slightly forward. There, perfect. And that takes care of flattening the lower back. Beautiful. And then on the next exhale, you come out of the pose, palms out in front, elbows straight. And then we're going to go back into the pose. This time, stay 4 breaths. Now, eyes steady. This helps develop the sthiram aspect of the posture. So the steadiness, the stability. Breathing into the back body and also sensing the breath moving downward. And after 4 complete breaths, then we can move out of the pose. Lower the arms down, and then we'll change legs. Opposite foot forward. Okay, so let's move in and out of it again. No breaths initially. Exhale out of the posture. Then we'll stay for a full breath. Stay, exhale. We can bring a kind of, again, cultivation of the fire mentality to this so that the inhale is descending toward the belly. On the exhale, you'll come out of the pose. With each inhale, filling the heart or chest, and the breath is moving downward. Now, 2 breath hold. And then the last round, 4 breath hold. Sense how the abdomen is a repository. This is kind of a furnace, the transformative nature of the sacred fire. This is where you're igniting what we call Rudrani, moving prana down from the chest, moving apana up from the pelvic floor. Then lower the arms, and then keep the feet where they are and just pivot to your right. So you face the screen. There you go. Okay. Do you have enough room to do Parsva Konasana, or do you need to move a little bit to your right? Okay. So we'll bring our arms level. Still have your foot pointed out. So we'll go out to the side, same side. There you go. And inhale deeply. Exhale, bend your front knee, reach way off your hip. Reach down to grab the ankle with the hand and take the opposite arm overhead, away from the back heel. And then slowly inhale, come all the way up. So let's move in and out of it 4 times before we hold this time. you can straighten the knee on inhale, great. Bending the front knee, reaching way off both sides of the waist. Okay. So let's do 4 times same movement, other side. So just change feet angles. And think about the breath, the pran descending from the heart, the apana ascending from the pelvic floor. So I'm sorry, you're going back to the first side. Yes, good, perfect. Okay, so you move in and out of it 4 times on this side. If you're flexible enough, the hand slides down to the ankle. Otherwise, forearm on the thigh is fine. Good. Nice. And after 4 rounds, you come back up, change the feet angles. This time we'll stay in a hold. Okay. So if you're more flexible and you want to today, although I haven't given you a lot of warm up yet, you could do a wrap, a bound version of this. The left arm would go under the left thigh, the right arm would go around the back. And if possible, you go for the bind. But again, I actually would prefer that you emphasize the movement of the breath as the intersection or the alchemy of pran and apan. The breath inhale, descent, the breath exhale, ascent, meeting in the abdomen. Just a couple more breaths. Can you bend the knee maybe a little deeper? Lean back a little more, twist the navel to the ceiling. Right, and then slowly release the pose, whichever form you've been in, come all the way back up. Okay, and then change feet angles. Okay, so we'll go to this side. The hand planted on the floor. That's it. Possibly go for the bound version of it. Just do the best you can. The arm overhead is also okay. Now, as you come out of this the pose this time, Carrie, go ahead and straighten your right knee, come up. We're going to go to Trikonasana. So on the same side. And go ahead and slide the right hand, it looks like your right hand, down the right leg toward the ankle. If you guys need blocks, that's fine. And then from there, take the left arm overhead. So reach away from your back heel. Nice. You can see Carrie is not collapsing. The top shoulder, chest is not dropping to the floor, but rather still fanning open. That defines a lateral pose, staying in alignment. And now, if you're more flexible, start to lower the hand below the crown of your head toward the floor. So even a larger arch on the side, upper side body. Yeah. Okay, if it feels like you're getting some compression in your right waist, you don't have to drop the hand. But if you've got the length that Carrie has now and you don't feel that compression, you can just continue to reach out. And still, the breath is deep. Inhale is descending, exhale is ascending. Beautiful. And then slowly inhale, sweep the arm back, and we'll do Trikonasana the other side. So stay again aware of that leading edge of creativity, joy. How can you expand it? The hand possibly is below the top of your head there to amplify, to deepen the stretch on the upper side body. Okay, and then slowly come back up all the way. Okay, Carrie. And then step to the front of your mat. Okay, good. Forward fold, please. And then you'll step back to downward dog. Now, we did this simple vinyasa the other day. So you'll come down to fours and sit back on your heels, stretch the arms forward. Okay, so this is that Bhujangasana vinyasa that we did. So you inhale, come out of that position, hips forward toward your wrists, drop the thighs to the floor, bend the elbows, heart lifts. That's it. Possibly lift the chin. Then exhale all the way down to the floor. Inhale back up, cobra. And then exhale back to your heels. Contract the navel on the way back. So 5 of them, please. 4 more. Cobra inhale. Fold or release to the floor. Okay, continue. Take your time so that you can still develop that internal bhav around. And bhav, again, is about feeling or sentiment, cultivation, that you're cultivating the meeting of these 2 breaths, ascending and descending breaths. Okay, so last one. And then afterward, we'll meet in downward dog. Great. So inhale, step the right foot forward between the hands. All right, Carrie, go ahead and stand up. Right foot, the front foot. We're going to take the left arm overhead, and it's just going to be a long forward fold over the leg. So exhale, long waist, forward fold. And then we're going to go into Pavriti Ardha Chandrasana. So you're going to step off the back foot. Look underneath your body, guys, so that you see the leg parallel to the floor. If you need to, or you can, squeeze the leg higher. So that more or less you see the leg parallel, the hips square. Gradually then take the opposite arm in the air. Beautiful. And stay. So the hips are fairly stable here. And now you rotate, again, twisting navel, while you continue to squeeze the leg up. You can have the foot flexed so the toes point down to the floor. Just 3 more breaths, please. Okay, and then you're gonna reach back with that foot, lower the hand to the floor. So now both hands are on the floor, and straightening your right leg, forward fold over the right leg. Now, if you're stable, you can take the arms to the back and hold on to, if it's your right foot is the front foot, hold on to your left wrist. With each inhale, reach the chest out a little further, please. Now, slowly release both hands to the floor. Downward dog again. Step the opposite foot forward. Again, you'll step up. Raise the, if it's the left foot is the front foot, now the right arm goes overhead and fold. Okay, perfect. So you move into the twist, free the left arm. That's it. Now, if you're having a difficult time balancing, or remaining stable, just look down. Otherwise, turn your chin. Look toward the thumb that's in the air. Beautiful. And then reach back with your right foot and fold over your left leg. Knee straightening. Either both hands or one hand on the floor, or possibly take the arms to the back. You fold over the leg. Okay, and then when you're ready, Carrie will slowly come back up. We face forward. When you're ready, feet hip distance apart. Okay. Good. So please take chair pose. First, we'll raise the arms. And then as you exhale, sink your hips. Now, naturally, there's a little bit of a dip in the low back. As you inhale and you lift the heart, the dip will slightly increase. That's it. As you exhale now, draw the tailbone deeper into the body and let that be a cue to engage the root lock. So you lost a little bit of the curve. Inhale, lift the heart a little higher again. The curve will increase. Exhale, draw the tail forward, cue Mula Bandha. Is moving upward. Good. And after those 3 rounds, that's fine. You can inhale, straighten your knees. Exhale, slide the hands down the legs again, forward fold. Let's clasp the big toes. Lift the heart, inhale. And now exhale, fold over both legs. Okay, try it again. Emphasizing an emptying of the abdomen, full exhalation as you go forward. Now, we did this the other day. You exhale deep, hold the breath out. Try your best. Engage Uddiyana Bandha. Come up out of the pose, lifting the chest, still with Uddiyana Bandha. Inhale at your highest point. Try again. Exhale all the air, empty the abdomen. Hold the breath out, come up slowly, lifting the chest. Okay, so 3 more of those. So you'll notice that Uddiyana Bandha is easily accessed in a forward fold. It's challenged when you lift your chest. That's it. And let's do one last one. Add an extra one there, Carrie G. And stay in the forward bend now. Deepen the breath. We'll stay about 5 breaths. Okay. Excellent. And then, Carrie, let's go ahead and bend the knees. We're going to come into a Malasana variation. So you're going to come into a deep squat. The knees will spread exactly. But this time around, we're going to drop the torso through the knees. So you continue. Yeah, that's it. Good. Lean forward. If possible, your arms are parallel to the floor, reaching further and further out. Okay, there we are. Now, continue to widen your knees apart, guys. As you exhale, cue the belly back, cue the root lock. Stay for a few more breaths. Can you sink your upper body a little bit more through your legs? Yeah, that's it. Good. And then relax your seat down to the floor. Extend your legs forward. Terrific. Okay. I hope you have enough room there to do Navasana. And we do the version where the sacrum is the only part of the body on the floor for the most part. Meanwhile, the rest of your spine and your heels are just a few inches off the floor. So there's a few variations of this. If you can't, yes, you go back pretty far there. Exactly. Heels are off the floor, shoulder blades off the floor. Now stay and do Kapalabhati. Inhale, come up, knees straight, arms overhead, spine vertical, and heels on the floor. Okay, got to make this somewhat exciting. So now let's go back, same thing. And again, same thing, about 15, 20-second hold, Kapalabhati. If it's too strong on your lower back, bend your knees. Inhale, all the way up again. Okay. One notch more. We're going to do one last round, okay? Inhale, exhale, go back into the position. And when you get there, heels a few inches off the floor, Kapalabhati. Okay, and then inhale all the way up. And lower the arms down. Now rest the hands on your thighs and lift out of the pit of the stomach so the spine is floating up. Close the eyes. With the eyes closed, descend the inhale, ascend the exhale. Lie down on your back. Bend your knees. Bridge pose. Feet on the floor, hip distance apart. Just take a look if you have room over your head so that you can stretch your arms down overhead. Great. Okay, so your feet hip distance apart. Couple breaths to adjust. Present moment awareness. Be aware of the leading edge of your creativity, inspiration, joy. All right. So with your arms by your side, please inhale. Press your hips up overhead, and press your hips up and take your arms overhead. And now chant Om on the way down, about a 6 count Om. Repeat it. Three more. Okay, please leave the arms on the floor the next time you go up. Press back up into the pose. Not moving your arms. This time, interlace your fingers. Now, you can stay here. If you like, vary the breath. Deep breath in and retain the breath. Up to 6 counts, mind in the belly. Cultivating prana shakti, presence, awareness, the animating force in the abdomen. You can mentally chant the Om as you retain the breath, building the prana shakti in the abdomen. Remember, there's still a slight curve in the neck. And one more round. Okay, when you're ready, come down slowly. Pause for a moment. Effortless awareness. So from there, we're going to do this modified shoulder stand that we've done already a couple of times. Supporting your back, your hips are over your elbows, the tops of your feet are over your forehead. So when you're ready, carry. And again, this is contraindicated if you're in a menstrual cycle phase, or if you have glaucoma or other eye disorders or high blood pressure. Okay, so let's bring the legs together, float the balls of the feet up. Let's keep it simple. You might remember that last time we did this, we did it with a Kriya. Well, this is a different Kriya. All I want you to do is to see, visualize, or sense a fire in your abdomen. Now, note the inversion is such that the heat from the fire rises, but in this case, it rises toward your lower chakras. So, as you're here meditating on the mantra Ram for fire, or your own fire mantra if you have one, sense it melting or dissolving the unconsciousness, attachments stored in the lower chakras. Attachment, fear, aversion. And that clinging to name and legacy we talked about previously. And we're going to stay for about another minute. Just Ram, 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 Ram. That spanda is manifesting as transformative fire in the abdomen. All right, when you're ready, you're going to come back down slowly. Take your time, peel down onto your back. Adjust there for a moment. And then when you're ready, let's roll over onto stomach to again do a little pratikriya for the neck. A little different than last time. Put the hands on the floor by the sides of the chest. Okay. And then on the hands on the floor by the sides of the chest, like you were going to do cobra pose. Palms face down. Yep. Okay. So initially you're going to come up. Even though the hands are in cobra pose, you're going to do shalabhasana, locust pose. So legs and chest come up. Exhale gently down. And then inhale, come back up for cobra. Just gentle cobra. Just a little bit of lift in the chin, again, to compensate for shoulder stand. Exhale, gently come down. Now inhale again, come up, shalabhasana variation, chest, legs. Stay for a full breath. Exhale down, and then inhale, cobra for a full breath. And then you exhale down. Good. Shalabhasana for 2 breaths. Right. Bhujangasana, 2 breaths. And Shalabhasana, 4 breaths. Squeeze the elbows in. Start working the legs closer together. Good. And then Bhujangasana, 4 breaths. Cobra. Okay, Come down slowly, press back to downward dog again to give traction to the spine, space to the lower disc bodies, space between the vertebrae. Nice. And then slowly come back down to your heels. Please sit on your heels, spine tall. And repeat that. Lift the chin. Lift the heart. Exhale, slowly come down. Head turns to a side. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, now we'll do 3 more. You can either do it exactly as we've been doing it, or if you want a little stronger challenge for the back, keep the arms overhead and fold forward. Remember, hands don't touch the floor till after upper body reaches the thighs. And that sequence, or even the inability to do that, of upper body meeting the thighs before the hands meet the floor, tells us a lot about the balance of strength and flexibility in the back. Okay, last one. Rest there for a few moments. Okay, please slowly sit up and come into Sukhasana. You remember that's the position we did yesterday, from which we grab the big toes. We won't be grabbing the big toes, but it's just the simplest forward bend position. Shins are crossed, heels are more or less under the knees. And now just walk forward in a forward bend. Okay, and then when you're ready, Carrie, go ahead and walk your hands back, guys, and let's sit up. You can arrange the legs if there's a more comfortable position for you. You can even sit on a cushion because we'll be here for 12 Chandra Bhedana breaths. Now the breath is in the left, out the right. So first sit up. However you wish to sit, right? Eyes closed. Establish your asana, the body stable, calm. Then bend your right elbow, block your right nostril, and exhale fully. In the left, slow and deep, out the right. And if you wish, see the breath rise into the left brain, descend along the left side of the spine, 1 or 2 finger widths, go to the base, and then all the way as you breathe out the right, ascending along the right side of the spine into the brain, out the nostril. 12 times. Continue to develop the awareness of the channel as you do. You're purifying it. Prana flows through it more easily, more fluidly. This brings balance to your physiology as well as the mind, and certainly to your pranamaya kosha, the energy body. After 12 rounds, you lower the hand and relax. Excellent. Okay, please take your time and then slowly stretch out onto your back on the floor. Shavasana. Okay, so relax. Stretch out. Again, become aware of the breath moving effortlessly. Each time you exhale, let go of contraction. With each breath out, the mind is giving up confinement. Letting go of the known, surrendering to the unknown, to the ground of the sacred, the eternal. Slowly, please begin to return back to the body, back to the breath. Breathe toward your hands and feet. And slowly begin to move them. Then, when you're ready, begin to gradually roll to your right, and we'll sit up. Please take your time. You'll go ahead and come into a position that's comfortable for you to meditate in. All right. So establish a firm, stable posture. And we'll take a few minutes to begin to enter into the practice of the Dragon Tiger Kriya. So very gently, I'll ask you very gently to sway from left to right. Very little movement needed. In fact, the less you move, the more internal it is, the better. Because you're just moving left to right in this way, like a blade of grass blowing in the gentlest breeze. To sense Sushumna. Sushumna literally means defined as the sacred stream, sacred current. And once you sense that you begin to feel it, see it, experience it, stop moving. And you sense this invisible current of the sacred and unending, ceaseless expression of the sacred. Now engage the root lock, the soft lift of the perineal wall. And in your mind's eye, come to the center of it. That's Muladhara. And just mentally say Muladhara 3 times, just mentally. Now moving upward, and remember it's not on your back. Sushumna is more central. Moving upward to the top of the sacrum. You say the name of the creative chakra, second chakra, Swadhisthana. Swa means self, Dhisthana meaning the dwelling place of the self. Just one time. And then your awareness moves up to, again, the navel chakra. Manipura, you say mentally to yourself. And then, again, elevating, ascending to the heart center, Anahata. Throat center, same. Now it's Visuddhi. Then from there you move from Visuddhi to third eye. Agnya chakra or Agnya. Then we go to Bindu, back of the head. Now we start the descent. For the purpose of the descent, I'll ask you to curl the tongue to the roof of your mouth, which connects the ascending and descending channels. That's the switching point. And tongue, as long as the tongue is in contact with the roof of the mouth. But what I'm going to suggest, if you can get a little more specific, if you curl the back of the tongue under the roof of the mouth and then begin to stretch the tongue back, you'll notice at one point the tongue will start encountering a little bit of a rough sensation. That's too far. So it's more or less just behind the highest point in the roof of the mouth. And now from the Bindu point, you come to that switching point just above your tongue. Evolutionary throat center, and the name is the same, Visuddhi. So it's just in front of, you'll find it, anterior to the ascending channel. Then you come down to the corresponding anahata. Corresponding navel center. Manipura. Again, it's in line with, but in front of. Then corresponding Swadhisthana. It's okay if these things don't quite, not so clear yet. We'll repeat it. Drop down into Muladhara and say Muladhara mentally 3 times. And then let's repeat the whole cycle again. Agnya. Bindu. Then roof of the mouth. The mantra can just be Sat. Corresponding throat center, Visuddhi. Heart center, Anahata. Navel center, Visuddhi. Navel center, Manipura. Swadhisthana. Muladhara 3 times. Now I'm going to ask you to continue this on your own. Muladhara 3 times, and actually say Agnya mentally 3 times. But the distinction here is I don't want you to move when you think you should move. Don't move following my rhythm, but rather listen to the spontaneous ascent and descent of consciousness. It will know when to move. You listen to the spontaneous spanda, the spontaneous pulsation, the inherent desire to express beauty and bliss. Mentally say Agnya 3 times, Muladhara 3 times, roof of the mouth, Sat. Please continue. At any time, if your knees bother you, you can stretch your legs out. Just keep your spine as still as possible. Again, don't do it automatically. Don't fall into unconsciousness. Remember, allow consciousness to do the practice. Just surrender to the intelligence of consciousness, Kundalini Shakti, unfolding through the practice. Please continue. And when you finish at the navel center, Manipura, so this is the descending and corresponding chakra at the navel, rest there. And just continue with the silent repetition of Manipura, Manipura, Manipura. Manipura means city of gems. It's referring to the luminous essence of mind as a gem. The light of the soul as pure, clear perception. And this is that city. This is its location. And then when you finish, you can bring your hands into Anjali Mudra, prayer pose. And then slowly come back. Take your time. All right, beautiful. Okay, so we're about 15 minutes behind. Today we had planned to have a conversation, offer a conversation with Renee and Carrie about Para Yoga, mostly about certification in the program. So Carrie, how do you feel about, do you know about Renee's timing? Can we start 15 minutes late, do you think, later than planned? I want to give everyone the full 2 hours. So if that would be the case, instead of the plan was, to meet at 1:30, could we do 1:45? I guess that's my question. Okay, I don't know if I have Carrie there. So let's say we'll meet at 1:45. Those of you who are interested in, and that way we'll still give everyone else, we'll go ahead and come back as a group at 2:45. Okay. So it's not going to take that long. It's usually about a half hour, 40 minutes at tops. All right. So